صفحة 81. الملاحق Appendices. الملحق 1. نموذج تقديم بلاغات فردية. يوفر الملحق نموذجاً لتقديم البلاغات صاغه البرنامج السوري للتطوير القانوني SLDP، ويشجع المنظمات غير الحكومية السورية على استخدامه في حال لم توفر الإجراءات الخاصة نموذجاً معيناً لتقديم البلاغات، كما يشجع استخدام هذا النموذج في الحالات التي تتعلق بالضحايا الأفراد لانتهاكات حقوق الإنسان. For the attention of Title of the special procedures addressed in the submission. Date submitted by Name of organization organizations. Information concerning the alleged victims. 1. Information concerning the alleged victims. A. First name. B. Family name. C. Other names the victim is known by, if applicable. D. Date of birth. E. Sex, male, female. F. Country of birth. G. Occupation, profession. H. Father's name. I. Mother's name. J. Nationality or nationalities. K. Identity document, if any. L. Address of usual residence. M. Marital status, if relevant. N. Pregnant, if relevant. Yes, no. الصفحة 83. 2. Identity of alleged perpetrators of the violation, if known, and information on all actors involved. Please provide all the available details, including controlling actors, the history of the presence of those actors, names and/or types of relevant military or security sectors, any details on the responsible, comment, etc. 3. Information concerning the incident, situation, case. Please provide a detailed description of the facts surrounding the case. All relevant detail that will help the special procedure understand the situation should be provided. Date, place, detailed description of the event that took place. SLDP encouraged those making submission to provide, where possible, information that reflects a general pattern and policy of violating the human rights subject of the submission. 4. Legal analysis. A brief yet concise overview of the applicable international human rights law and other relevant bodies of law, including international humanitarian law. The analysis should demonstrate the domestic legal frameworks applicable to the case, the obligation of the concerned government or governments under the applicable international law, and how the government is responsible for the human rights violations at issue through the acts, or omissions of its agents, forces, and/or representatives. 5. Information concerning the individual or organization submitting the information. This information will remain confidential. Name, contact info, role in the case or situation. Will you be able to follow the case and convey information to the victim or victims and/or their families? Yes, no. 6. Information concerning the consent of alleged victims, their lawyer or family. A. Please confirm that the victim or victims, their lawyer or their family have provided their consent for the use of the identity of victims in the following. B. Communication to the government responsible for the alleged violation. Yes or no? C. Public reports submitted to the Human Rights Council and or the General Assembly. Yes or no. D. Communications published on the communication website online. Yes or no. E. Please confirm that the victim, victims, their lawyer, or their family have provided their consent for the special procedure to intervene on their behalf. Yes or no. F. Please confirm that the victim or victims, their lawyer, or their family understand the mandate of the concerned special procedures, and the risks involved with the submission of information to special procedures. Yes or no. الصفحة 85. الملحق 2. نموذج تقديم بلاغات عامة. يوفر الملحق نموذجاً لتقديم البلاغات صاغه البرنامج السوري للتطوير القانوني SLDP، ويشجع المنظمات غير الحكومية السورية على استخدامه في حال لم توفر الإجراءات الخاصة نموذجاً معيناً لتقديم البلاغات. كما يشجع على استخدام هذا النموذج في الحالات التي تخص مجموعات الأفراد أو حالات الانتهاكات الواسعة أو الممنهجة لحقوق الإنسان، وعندما تود المنظمات غير الحكومية السورية استخدام المعلومات المقدمة في جهود المناصرة. Special Procedures Submission Urgent Appeal Allegation Letter to the United Nations Special Procedures on 2-3 lines on the submission. For example, on the use of chemical weapons against civilians in the attack on place on the date. Date submitted by name of organizations. For the attention of title of the special procedure or procedures addressed in the submission. 1. Overview. A brief description of the submission in general. The main facts, the victims, demands and recommendations. 2-3 short paragraphs. 2. Facts of the incident, phenomena, situation. A detailed description of the fact of the incident, phenomena, including date, place, detailed description of events that took place, and any witness testimonies of the events. 3. Legal analysis. A brief yet concise overview of the applicable international human rights law and other relevant bodies of law, including international humanitarian law. The analysis should demonstrate the domestic legal frameworks applicable to the case, the obligation of the concerned government or governments under the applicable international law, and how the government is responsible for the human rights violations at issue through the acts, or omissions of its agents, forces, and or representatives. 4. Conclusion and recommendations. The organization conclusion in light of its legal analysis on the lawfulness of the events or acts that took place also include a list of the recommendations and demands of the organization or victims. 5. Annexes. Any evidence including witness testimonies, photos, reports, copies of codes and statutes, draft bills, and any other type evidence. If the submission refers to the identity of specific alleged victims, SNGOs must provide evidence of consent from the victim or victims, their lawyers, or families for the use of the identity of victim in A. Communication to the government, B. Public reports to the Human Rights Council and or General Assembly, and C. Publication on the communication website.